Who would have thought that the cast of Crazy Rich Asians has been in some really big scandals? Which cast member got canceled for using the black scent? Who is the biggest diva on set? And what big fight happened on the set of the movie that almost ruined the whole franchise? Diva on set, Constance Wu is gonna get mentioned quite a few times in this video due to her finding herself in more than one drama. Honestly, it sounds almost crazy, but she's been entangled in some very messed up scandals and was a target of heavy criticism numerous times. But why was she called a diva, and what almost ruined her whole image? When Hustlers aired in 2019, the insiders from the set of the movie talked to a few media outlets and revealed that Constance Wu was allegedly very difficult to work with. According to them, she literally exhibited diva behavior on set. It's hard to know how relevant this information is because media outlets and insiders from TV shows and movies often try to create fake drama to stir the pot and make a lot of buzz around new releases. The infamous Page 6 wrote, "Hated Constance Wu is an even bigger diva than Jennifer Lopez." According to the article, the insider from the movie had this to say about Constance Wu. "She is a pain in the effing ass. She just won't agree to do anything. She refuses to do interviews. She won't have visitors on her sets. It's like a cliche. She's very talented, but all signs are pointing to a difficult diva." It's not just one person who had bad things to say about Constance, though. Another alleged insider shared, "She's a total piece of work. She thinks it's okay to treat people badly and say out loud whatever comes to her. She's the new Katherine Heigl, and if she's not careful, her movie career will go in the same direction, downhill." None of this sounds nice, but it's still not all. On top of the issues with Hustlers, there was also allegedly some drama on the set of Crazy Rich Asians. According to the source from the set of the movie, Constance was super standoffish and didn't want to engage in conversations with other cast members. When the cast was doing group interviews, she was the only one who took a separate vehicle after she allegedly refused to get in the car with her other co-stars. The person who revealed this information also shared that she was icy cold, leaving it to Henry Golding to charm everyone. And even though this sounds really terrible, there's still more drama about Constance that we're going to talk about in a minute. Not happy about the renewal. It would be great to say that everything we shared previously is made up, but no. Constance Wu found herself in very hot waters after she reacted to the renewal of Fresh Off the Boat in a couple of tweets. That situation alone made everyone feel a bit icky about her character, and some viewers question who the real Constance Wu really is. This drama also happened in 2019, so maybe it was just a very bad year for Wu, and presumably she humbled herself down a little bit. But what happened? In early 2019, ABC announced that they would produce another season of Fresh Off the Boat, which is a show Constance Wu was a part of. Although the tweets Constance wrote when the announcement were made are no longer available, they're still in the online articles. Constance tweeted, "So upset right now that I'm literally crying." If you're wondering why she was so upset, it was due to the scheduling conflict with Fresh Off the Boat and other filming projects. Constance acted as if the renewal of the series wasn't good news. After the whole drama simmered down a bit, she shared, "I don't regret being messy and imperfect in public, but I do regret not taking into account how it might have affected people I care about, like the kids on the show." Constance said that she talked to them about how much she loved them and that her feelings weren't aimed against them. She said, "I acted out of a moment of passion." Gemma Chan got dragged into this controversy as well after she accidentally liked a negative tweet about Constance Wu. However, she quickly clarified that it wasn't done on purpose and that she and Wu are great friends. During the time when this drama went down, Constance was entangled in the diva rumors, and she reacted to those by saying, "We've had the same crew for 6 years. That never happens if you're a diva on set." Well, truth be told, she's got a point. Black scent drama. Undeniably, Awkwafina is not everybody's cup of tea. Whether it's her humor, jokes, or music, it makes the fans of Crazy Rich Asians split into two groups, those who love her and those who hate her. However, both groups mutually agreed on one thing, that was when they called her out on her black scent. The situation got so messy that Awkwafina even left Twitter and deleted her account because she was receiving not only hate messages, but also texts that were life-threatening. This all happened earlier this year, only a couple of weeks ago. Fans gathered together to call out Awkwafina due to her repeatedly using the black scent in her comedy sketches and music. She didn't deny it and released a statement that did more bad than good. She admitted that she used the so-called black scent in music, on social media, and in other contexts, and that she would continue to learn the history of the accent and why it holds such an important historical value for people of color. She explained why she spoke in that way. "My immigrant background allowed me to carve an American identity off the movies and TV shows I watched, the children I went to public school with, and my undying love and respect for hip-hop." Awkwafina also said, "I must emphasize, to mock, belittle, or to be unkind in any way possible at the expense of others is simply not my nature. It never has, and it never was. Despite the heavy backlash, Awkwafina is active on Instagram. However, some fans are worried that she would not return for the sequel of Crazy Rich Asians because of her controversy. Hell behind the scenes. Now, the most hated drama on the actual set of Crazy Rich Asians happened not between the cast, but between the scriptwriters and the producers of the show. If you're unaware, the whole production of Part 2 of the franchise was postponed due to the conflict involving the original scriptwriters and the producers of the show. The first movie was written by Adele Lim and Peter Chiarelli. However, as it turns out, they both got very different pay offers. While Adele Lim was offered only $100,000 for the script, Chiarelli was offered $1 million. It's pretty clear why Adele wouldn't be happy with this offer. Not only did this point out the huge pay discrepancies between men and women, but also between white people and people of color. Adele Lim refused the initial offer of $100,000, and when the production offered just a few thousand more, she said a definite no. Chiarelli, the other scriptwriter, tried to save the situation by offering her half of his salary, but she rejected that by saying, "What I make shouldn't be dependent on the generosity of the white guy writer." And that is perfectly understandable. The mess ended up very badly, as both scriptwriters decided to leave the movie and focus on other things. But it's safe to say they've done Adele really dirty. Heated backlash. As surprising as it sounds, Henry Golding, the Hollywood sweetheart himself, was involved in a little drama too. First of all, would you believe that Henry actually rejected the role of Nick Young several times before he finally agreed to get casted for Crazy Rich Asians? He was originally a television host who focused on traveling. But the director Chu saw something in him and was convinced he was the real Nick Young. Henry shared this. When the offer came, they were like, "Oh, do you want to audition for this role? It's going to be a big movie." I was like, "Oh, I've heard of it. It's going to be fantastic. But it's for someone else. Someone who's going to bring the A game." Eventually, Henry agreed to audition for the role, and as we now know, he's the fantastic Nick Young. However, his first big role is tied to a little controversy. When Henry got cast for Crazy Rich Asians, there were people who claimed that he wasn't Asian enough and that he was not the right fit for the role. Golding has a mixed background. His father is British and his mom comes from Malaysia. And although Golding has a clearly Asian background to some extent, there were people who made a lot of noise wanting him to get out of Crazy Rich Asians. When this all went down, Golding responded to the backlash by saying, "The one thing that I learned very young was to own my identity. And I knew I'm Asian through and through. There's nothing I needed to prove." Let's not even imagine what the movie would look like without Henry Golding. Heavy criticism. Not even our girl Gemma Chan could escape the claws of the media and received a backlash for one of her past roles. Back in 2010, Gemma starred in one of the episodes of Sherlock, where she portrayed a very stereotypical Chinese character. The character in question had a thick Asian accent, was involved in illegal activities, and basically the writers did her completely dirty. Gemma Chan was the victim of the production in this case, and she actually reacted to the issue a few years afterwards. She said, "Would I necessarily make the same choices now if given the choice? Maybe not. I think I would speak up more if I felt the role was leaning into an Orientalist trope of some sort." She continued by saying that she's much more aware now of the issues of her community, and she'd do better in terms of standing up not only for herself, but for the portrayal of other Asian people on television. Many people believe that Gemma wasn't in a position to say much back then, since her name was pretty much unknown and she was still trying to make it big in the harsh entertainment industry. What are your thoughts on all the drama the cast of Crazy Rich Asians was involved in? Do you believe that Constance Wu is a real diva behind the scenes? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye!